Recording in progress.
All right, we'll welcome Coach Gonzalo Pineda to the podium and take questions from the room. Go ahead and start with Doug.
Hey, Coach, you said on Friday that the number one thing the team needed to improve upon from Miami was to be clinical in front of both goals. Do you feel the team did well enough on both ends in that area tonight?
I would say yes. It's just the final execution in the attacking half. I think we were not as clinical as I wanted, but I think we did a good game.
Felipe?
Gonzalo, this is obviously a big tournament for MLS and for the league. Carthago was saying earlier this year that this is a huge tournament for Atlanta United. The preseason was built around playing against Mexican sides, and now you guys are out of the tournament, the second tournament that Atlanta United is eliminated from this season. How disappointing is it? And what's obviously MLS Cup to play for, but just what's the assessment right now?
Very disappointed with this one. I think we deserve better, but this is football. I saw a big improvement in the team. I think we did a great job in many different phases of the game, but football is like this, and we couldn't succeed on this one. We'll be, of course, reflecting and trying to assess our performance overall and try to be better. That's always the goal. There are 10 games left in the season. August the 20th, Seattle Sounders away. It's a big task for the team, and so we have now 3 weeks to prepare that and to go for those 30 points and try to get as many as possible.
Go down here on the end.
Gonzalo, you talked about those little moments that happen in matches, and it looked like what came up in the first half when Grizzlies scored in the first half. Again, the attacker left open on the left side. I mean, what is the breakdown in that situation, and again, how does Atlanta United correct it?
Yeah, I think it was a mistake. I think we were doing a good job on solving those long switches of play, shifting over properly. We tried to be more aggressive, especially with the wingers, and in that play, Miles jumps for the ball, and Ronald with so much energy and trying to do the best, he goes for the same ball, and then both of them don't make contact, and then the second ball goes for them inside the box. So that's what happened. It's of course a mistake, but it's unfortunate because the team was doing a good job.
Go down front here with Donnell.
Coach, with the exception of the guy in Miami, is Amaro the best player in MLS?
He's the best player for me, but obviously it's up to opinions. I think Thiago had a very good performance again. I think having a lot of players now that he can combine with help a lot. I think, of course, Tristan, you saw a little bit of who he is and why we signed him. But also Rossetto, Amar. I mean, there were so many good possession sequences where when Thiago is around those type of players, I think he's going to shine even more. So he had a big game, but unfortunate again, in penalties we're out.
Go to John in the middle.
Coach, you mentioned briefly about the debut of Muyumba. I wanted to know what you thought specifically more of his game tonight and also of Edwin's game, bringing you that speed down the left-hand side, creating opportunities with Mosquera and Muyumba. What did you think?
Yes, well, starting with Edwin, I think he changed a little bit the game for us. We were paying attention to our right side. We were not as decisive in the first half. I think Riveros was doing a good job on Brooks. And then we tried to change that with Edwin. Eventually, he impacted the game. He had the assist in Thiago's goal, and he was very, dangerous on both sides. He brings energy, and he's very good at unbalancing the opponents, getting into prime assist zones, dangerous areas, And of course, the development for him is the decision making and the final pass. But he had a very good game as well. And Tristan, who I'm very impressed with, of course, you always watch film on signings, and you are excited about that and what he can be. But you never know until you see him live, right? And there were good moments in training sessions. And today you saw what he can bring. A physical guy, a guy that changed the pace, that plays simple, but also can dribble past people, that his decision making is very good, he's clever, and also can unbalance the back line with some runs inside the box. And he's still not 100% fit. So it's looking forward to his development and his integration to the team, and him fully fit. I think he's going to be a great signing for us.
Back here, back right.
Gonzalo, buenas noches. Felipe Valenzuela, Univisión Los Ángeles. ¿Qué decepcionado estás con el equipo? ¿Qué te falló para obtener la victoria? ¿Y qué te ha parecido el torneo de la Leagues Cup? Si es una buena opción para los equipos de la MLS, para la Liga MX, y que también se suspende por de pronto la temporada, ¿no? No sé si baja el ritmo o sube el ritmo.
La verdad es que tu primera pregunta, no sé si es decepcionado por el resultado o decepcionado con el equipo. Estoy muy decepcionado con el resultado, pero muy orgulloso del equipo. Se brindaron al 200%, hicieron un grandísimo esfuerzo. Creo que por grandes lapsos del partido superamos a Cruz Azul, fuimos mucho más peligrosos, generamos muchas ocasiones de gol en mi forma de verlo. Y no pudimos concretar, que es la parte que es lamentable del encuentro, porque los muchachos jugaron muy bien al fútbol. Y bueno, después lo del torneo, pues así es, esas son las reglas, ya sabemos, y bueno, trataremos de ajustar. Tenemos 3 semanas para preparar el próximo partido de liga y tratar de llegar en la mejor forma física y mental.
We'll take 3 more questions from the room before we get to the Zoom.
Gonzalo.
We'll go back here, back left.
Gonzalo, ¿cómo va? ¿Todo
¿Qué
bien?
tal? ¿Todo bien, Diego?
Bueno, nada, quería preguntarte más allá de lo futbolístico, que ya lo has charlado, lo has tocado. ¿Cuánto duele esta derrota hoy, en este momento, esta eliminación? Después habrá tiempo para pasar la página, enterrar este mal momento, mejorar de cara al futuro, pero ¿cuánto te duele a vos hoy, en este momento, y cuán dolido está el grupo?
Duele mucho, la verdad es que duele mucho, Diego. A veces es difícil decir cuándo duele más, y cuando no haces bien las cosas duele por eso, pero cuando las haces bien yo creo que duele más, porque el equipo creo que hoy se merecía mucho más. Y una vez más, yo creo que este tipo de detalles tenemos que aprender de ellos. Tenemos un plantel joven y hay que aprender de esas situaciones. Entonces estoy triste obviamente por la eliminación, pero estoy muy orgulloso del equipo. El esfuerzo que hizo fue extraordinario. Creo que pusimos muy buen desempeño y desafortunadamente estamos fuera. Ya pronto vendrá la reflexión, lo que hay que hacer y bueno, encaminarnos al partido que viene.
All right, we'll come back down here in front. Doug, get a microphone down there.
Yeah, 2 questions. Did you ask the referee about the handball in the first half, and did you receive an explanation? And what will be the focus of the team's practices, training over the next couple of weeks before that Seattle match?
Yeah, we asked about the handball. They say no handball, so I haven't seen it again. So I don't know. I haven't seen that play. And then, well, first of all, continue with the integration of Tristan, the integration of maybe, a couple players that may come. And then I think we have to take this game as an example of what we have to do every time we're on the field. I think the level of commitment, the aggression that we show in the pressing, the collective organization to disrupt the opponent from the back. I think we had a very, very good game in terms of build-up, play out from the goal kick, creating chances, dangerous chances. I think, of course, defensively, solidifying the back line is a big point of emphasis for us, where I think still overall in the big scheme of things, we are doing a good job, but obviously those lapses, those moments where those individual mistakes are hurting the team. So we will try to message that, to play with a little bit more. It's not even urgency, because today's mistake was out of a lot of urgency. We made a mistake, so kind of understand better those moments. And then the final third, I would say that we were very good against a team that, of course, is very experienced, that they knew how to play this type of matches. So they play a bit of a deeper line, and it was challenging for us to create chances, but we did. But still, we will try to emphasize more in a little bit more patience in the final third, whether it's we go on one side and then we are forcing things in there where maybe it's not the time, and we have to move the ball fast, side to side, trying to go on the other side and try to balance better the back line to create better type of chances. I think that's a point of emphasis, and of course, the finalization of our plays, like being picking the better crosses, picking the better through balls, the right movements, and the right finishing. The last touch, I think, we're missing. So those will be the emphasis, very likely.
All right, we'll take one more question in the room. Before we do, the Atlanta United Mix Zone is now open. If you're on Zoom and you have a question, please use the raise your hand function, and we'll call you in a second. We'll go right down front, Felipe.
Gonzalo, Garth also said earlier this year that he would wait until the end of the summer to assess, the entire project. Curious if you've had that conversation with him yet, and these two players that you mentioned that are coming in, what areas of the team are they going to strengthen? What are the weaknesses that you want to address?
Well, the first question, I have multiple conversations in different moments of the days. I mean, I cannot recall. Yesterday, I talked to Garth, for example, for different things. What's the status of the team? A lot of things. We have good communication. We haven't really, put, a report or anything like that to assess everything and to evaluate the moment of the team, the roster, everything. We haven't. Yeah. We've been very busy with games, but we will do for sure. And then the second question is more for me, for Carlos. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you this every time you ask about the signings. I'm just giving you, of course, we are looking forward to sign a couple players, and when that happens, we'll announce it. And, there are certain areas, of course, that we want to strengthen, but I will leave that to Carlos. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take some questions from Zoom here. First up will be John. John, go ahead.
Yeah, gracias, Felipe.
John, your mic is hot. Go ahead. All right, we'll move on. We'll go to Ramon. Ramon?
Buenas tardes. ¿Me escuchan?
Ramon, if you could repeat that, your question didn't come through in the room.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Sí me escuchan?
Ahora sí.
Es que no escucho nada.
He's not listening to everything. He can hear. We can hear you.
Ramon, we can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
Listo, ahí escucho. Buenas tardes, profe Pineda.
Hola, Ramón. Buenas tardes.
Profe, nomás preguntarle cómo vio el juego, qué pasó con el VAR, qué me tiene que comentar y qué puntos a mejorar a su equipo para seguir aquí en la MLS dando buen juego. Gracias.
Sí, que vi del juego, vi que hicimos un buen partido. Creo que hicimos lo necesario para habernos llevado la victoria, pero el fútbol es así. Felicito a Cruz Azul, que también es un gran rival, tiene muy buenos jugadores y un extraordinario entrenador. Después, ¿qué hay que mejorar? Bueno, creo que durante la temporada y los diferentes torneos que hemos jugado, desde Open Cup, ahora Leagues Cup, hemos pecado de cierta irregularidad. Me parece a mí irregularidad en cuanto, no solo en cuanto a resultados, sino a rendimiento. Creo que un poco cuando comenzamos a tener ciertas ausencias o ciertos desequilibrios en las alineaciones y no podemos repetir continuamente, el equipo como que pierde la forma y de repente pareciera que la retomamos y viene algún ajuste y eso nos ha pasado en 4 partes, me parece, del torneo, con algunas lesiones, fechas FIFA donde hemos perdido hasta 7, 8 jugadores, ahora con algunas transferencias y creo que eso merma en la cohesión del equipo. Entonces, eso es como a grandes rasgos un análisis pequeño de lo que ha sido la temporada y obviamente algunas cosas que tenemos que mejorar colectivamente, como la parte defensiva, que ustedes vieron, por ejemplo, el día de hoy, creo que hacemos un partido bastante bueno defensivamente, pero un pequeño error le da la victoria o le da la ventaja momentánea a Cruz Azul en el primer tiempo y a partir de ahí es remar contracorriente. Creo que parecido ha pasado en los últimos partidos. Entonces habrá que mejorar seguramente en la parte defensiva y después yo creo que la parte del último tercio tendremos que trabajar mucho más creo que estamos generando buenas ocasiones de gol, pero generarlas todavía más claras y en más volumen. Y parte de eso es tener un poquito más de paciencia y la mejor toma de decisión en el último tercio.
All right, we'll try John again. John, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask us a question.
Thanks, Jason. I got it this time. Gonzalo, forgive me if this has been asked already, but just your thoughts on Muyumba's debut tonight.
Yes, I felt that he did a fantastic game. I was telling you guys before that obviously we signed him, we watched a lot of film from him. I was actually very excited because I was able to see the characteristics of Tristan on the film, but you never know until you watch the player live and see what he's capable of. And he had a tremendous performance, in my opinion. You can see a little bit what he can provide to the team, a little bit more of a physical midfielder that can play simple, can connect really well, first-time passes, 2 touches, but also carry on with the ball and dribble past people, but also being dangerous in the final third with some runs inside the box, combining very well, very good composure on the ball, and I think physically still he's 20-30% away from being, in his best shape. So very excited with Tristan's performance and looking forward to continue his integration to the team.
All right, now we'll go to Sergio. Sergio, go ahead.
Gracias, buenas noches. Sergio Venegas para Deportes.com. Profesor, quizá una derrota un poco muy amarga para usted, pero ¿qué saca de conclusiones de este partido, sobre todo para la temporada? Y te deseo éxito, Gonzalo. Buenas noches.
Muchas gracias, Sergio. Pues muy frustrado por el resultado, pero a la vez satisfecho y muy contento con el rendimiento del equipo. Creo que Cruz Azul nunca es fácil, es un muy, muy buen equipo. Los felicito por haber ganado. Tienen un muy buen equipo, muy buenos jugadores. Para mí un extraordinario entrenador. Y nada, frustrado por el resultado, pero contento con el rendimiento y mirando hacia adelante para tratar de tomar este partido como un ejemplo de lo que el equipo tendría que hacer cada vez que pisamos una cancha. Hemos sido un tanto irregulares en algunas partes del torneo por diferentes motivos y hoy fue otra vez retomar un muy buen rendimiento, pero una vez más nos quedamos cortos con pequeños detalles individuales o errorcitos en la parte de atrás que, bueno, nos han pasado. No es solo un jugador, ha sido diferentes jugadores y bueno, trabajaremos. No queda otra cosa más que trabajar en ello.
All right, we got one more on Zoom. We'll go to Sebastian. Sebastian, go ahead.
Gonzalo, Sebastián Saijo para la agencia Tela de Argentina. Gonzalo, más allá del resultado de hoy, digo, cuando se acercaba la fecha de jugar la League Cup, les toca nada más y nada menos que a Cruz Azul enfrentarlo, bueno, como que no viene bien en la Liga Mexicana y estaban necesitados de ganar. y por otro lado le tocó la revolución Messi con el Inter Miami, digo, no la pegaron por ningún lado.
Sí, sí, entiendo un poco tu pregunta. Pareciera un consuelo, pareciera como que, bueno, entonces no pasa nada, y sí pasa, ¿no? Quedamos fuera, duele mucho porque creo que sobre todo el día de hoy merecimos mucho más y tuvimos la calificación en nuestras manos, y por un momento creo que pensábamos que estábamos haciendo lo necesario para sacar el resultado. Entonces, si bien es cierto que todo el escenario de Messi, Busquets, Tata Martino, toda la revolución y todo el boom que esto genera, el escenario que era pues probablemente imponente para mis jugadores, pues no supimos manejarlo bien, pero el día de hoy creo que merecimos más. Al final es fútbol y estas cosas pasan, habrá que aprender de ello y seguir adelante.
All right, with that, Coach, thank you.
Yeah,
We'll
thank
continue
you.
shortly with Cruz Azul.